I would like to speak about a certain topic, very, very critical, very important. I want people to take this on a serious note, and I'll tell you why. A few people came up to me recently, a very humongous Talmud Chacham, number one, and other people came up to me. One Talmud Chacham came up to me, I believe he's even a rabbi, and he told me that a lot of people, unfortunately, not unfortunate, but people go away for vacations, etc. And this time of the year, especially when it's going to get to the summers, people start attending Splish Splash, or what do you call these things? Huh? Whatever. All these places where you have water parks, etc. Rabotai. Or a lot of times people decide they want to go to Caribbeans, or they want to go to Miami Beach, or they want to go somewhere else, Rabotai. Meaning they want to go away, Rabotai. You want to go on vacation, make sure it's kosher. So a lot of people, they unfortunately think that to be on the beach while their wife is fully dressed, meaning she has one of those gowns from here to the bottom, and she thinks that's a kosher dress for the beach. Rabotai, there's no such thing as a kosher beach when you have men and women mixed together. There's no such thing, Rabotai. We have to understand one thing. If we are religious in Queens or in Brooklyn or wherever we live, it doesn't mean once we leave that area, automatically become religious and we do whatever we want over there. A lot of times people feel that once they are out from the community, they feel nobody's watching them. Rabotai, one of the biggest mistakes we make is we forget that Hashem is everywhere. And He is watching us. So I want to make something clear, Rabotai. It is asur for anybody, any parent or any wife to even think of taking the little children, mamish, I'm not 3 years old, 4 years old, does not matter, Rabotai, to places where you have women walking around with their whatever, I don't even want to say it. What's that? The one, they're walking around with, you guys understand, only covering their breast and only covering their private part. Everything else is seen, Rabotai. It is asur for us to be there. Number one, beaches, Rabotai. I don't care, Jones Beach, Miami Beach. It is asur for us to be there. There is no permission. I understand the wife needs to get away. You could also get away by renting a house in Miami, having a pool, or maybe early in the morning when nobody's there, or late at night, or I know, maybe find a corner in the beach where bichlal you don't see nobody, Rabotai. But to be in the middle of a beach where there's a lot of pitzut going on, Rabotai, you are doing isurim deoraita every second non-stop. Now, because it's the whole concept of la tatur acharei levavchem acharei nechem, Rabotai. Now, that's one point. Another point, I want to bring something to the attention that I'm very proud of certain people that have been coming up to me lately, and they're telling me, Rabbi, we have stopped going to mixed dancing, Rabotai. I don't even want to touch mixed eating for now. I'm speaking about mixed dancing, Rabotai. People go and they think dancing in a mixed party is okay. Now, I'm not speaking about secular people. Why? Because secular people, they don't know any better. They are not educated in this matter. So how do you expect them to know? How do you expect a child that has a sharp knife in his hand, when he cuts himself, you're not going to blame him. You're going to blame the person that left the knife outside. So to we, Rabotai, the people that are secular, we want to try to help them understand this. But the people that are religious, this is what hurts me, Rabotai. If you are wearing a black hat, if you are dressing up white and black, or even if you're dressing up colorful, but you have a black kippah on your head, Rabotai, there is no reason for you to be in a wedding where there's a mixed dancing, Rabotai. It is asur. I don't care what the rabbi is going to tell you. Go there, sit there, turn your back like that, turn your back towards the wall. Rabotai, you're not allowed to be in a place where women are dancing. You should look into evidence of what it writes about. When a woman is dancing, there's nothing greater than that that's going to turn a man on. In any event, Rabotai, I just wanted to say, number one, a lot of people are breaking off this trend, Baruch Hashem. But certain people still, Rabotai, it is very hard for them to say, no, we can't go. But let me tell you something. We, the religious sect, Rabotai, again, we're not different than them, we're all Jewish. But we have a little bit more education or more knowledge that these things are not allowed. And we still attend, Rabotai, I want to put it like this. Those people that do attend, what they're doing is called Machtiyat Arabim. By you being there, what are you allowing other people to look at you and say, he's here, that means I'm allowed to be here. Rabotai, you know what it means, Machtiyat Arabim? Make it very simple. You guys believe that whenever you give somebody one zechut to do a mitzvah, or you teach a person how to put on tefillin, let's say this guy teaches somebody else to put on tefillin, or you teach him Torah and he teaches his children Torah, Rabotai, the dividends will be paid for you forever and ever, eternity. But now, Rabotai, if you chas v'shalom have, people teach you to do an avero, or because of you, people learned out, you went to a place where you're not supposed to be, mixed seating or mixed dancing. You went, where they were dancing, now they think mixed dancing is mutar, they see you there, you're not doing nothing, you're just eating, Rabotai. If people assume that's called Machtiyat Rabim, because you have to be cautious with your actions. what's going to end up happening? They learn out. It's going to carry for generations. Now, let's say you did teshuvah, Rabotai. I'll give you one critical case which came up, a real story, Rabotai. A boy, 18 or 17-year-old boy, he taught another boy, Chas v'Shalom, Rabotai, how to spill semen in vain. The boy never knew about spilling semen in vain. I'm telling the emet, Rabotai. This boy never even knew what pornography is. He didn't know what these things are until his friend introduced it to him. It doesn't take long. It takes a few seconds to get hooked on it. Rabotai, what ended up happening? This boy started doing it. He taught another boy, that boy, another boy. Rabotai was a chain reaction, dominoes. Do you know how many boys were affected by this that never in their life did they ever see these things? Never in their life did they even think of doing that. Guys, this first boy, the initial boy that started this whole thing, even if today he does teshuvah and he dies after 120, Rabotai, calls them on, as long as they're doing averes, Rabotai, all the cheshbon, the dividends are being paid to the boy that started. He has to go find each one. You can't find each one. Start making clips. Start putting it out in the world. Teach other boys that this is asur. Teshuvah is not, okay, Hashem, I'm sorry. Hello, you destroyed, you killed the whole city. I'm sorry. The Rav Chaim one time says a story, beautiful story. There was a guy who was walking on the sand or somewhere. He was walking in the desert. Rabotai, he didn't have shoelaces. He didn't have shoelaces. Now, as he's walking, he tripped on some wire, thin wire. He says, oh, Hashem, thank you so much. You sent me a piece of wire. Kakras, I need for my shoelaces. He took scissors. He cut the wire 1, 2. He made himself shoelaces. And he went on his way happy. Rabotai, little did he know there was a plant. There was an operation going on, undercover operation, where they needed the light to attack a certain city. Because he cut the wire, which was their only source of light. They got, all of them died, Rabotai. This is what we do, Rabotai. We don't even realize. When we teach somebody want to do Avera, we think we did a mitzvah, we continue on our way. But you don't understand the effect, the domino effect that it's going to have, Rabotai. That's where you're going to have to be responsible. That's every person has to be very careful. It's mamish machti arabim, it's very bad. It's like putting up a stumbling block before a blind person. In any event, Rabotai, just give me 2 minutes. I want to be able to read for you something over here regarding mixed dancing. But I had to say all this only because of what's going on, Rabotai. The Yaqut Yosef, he brings on over here, he says, if you look into Chalak Even HaEzer, in Shekatach Bechalak Even HaEzer, Chalak Bet, Simen Yud Gimel Del HaRambam, Rabotai, Rikudim Mi'uravim, Hi Isur Lav, Shelukim Olav. If anybody dances mixed dances, Rabotai, he is going to get Malkut. You know what means Malkut? Rabotai, I'll be honest with you, Rabotai, I don't think I'm some kind of angel. Many years ago, maybe 10 years, I don't even remember how long, maybe 15 years, even more, I don't even know if somebody can remind me. Rabotai, if you ever, at one point when I was not religious, when I was watching movies, Rabotai, there was a movie that was called Passion of the Christ. I still remember till this day, Rabotai. If you guys ever saw it, they have this guy over there, it was Mamish, Mel Gibson, he made it. Rabotai, they took whiplashes, Rabotai, and they were whipping the guy, whoever this guy was, that they were whipping, and they were literally whipping him, Rabotai, if you would have only seen the scars on his back. Rabotai, the people that dance over there, Rabotai, that's going to be their punishment. Forget about karet for now. The malkut is very hard. It's literally getting slashed when they cut your body. When the person that's slashing, he stands on one end because it's long, it's leather, shoot, and it goes. And another person stands next to the guy that's being slashed. He looks at him if he's going to die because every slash, every whip could kill the person. Rabotai, this is what happens when you're dancing. I didn't tell you touching other women. I didn't say anything yet. I said only dancing in mixed parties. And then he says like this, Levad misurim acherim habayim mizeh. Rabotai, besides other isurim that come with this. How do you allow another husband, another guy, to come dance and slow dance with your wife? He puts his hand in shokudah, not on the back, on the behind, a little bit lower, where her tokus is, Rabotai. And everybody's happy. Aha. What my krasavitsa. Rabotai, you have to understand, why do you allow other men to touch your wife? Why do women allow their men to touch other women? Not even hugging, not even kissing, no handshakes, nothing, Rabotai. It's a very big problem. We have too many flirtations going on. These things are asur, Rabotai. This is why the divorce rate is very high. Rabotai, this other issue that come out. He says, because the pasuk says, Shover al v'nishmartem mikol davara. Shehu ha'ishu al hirhur b'nashim. The pasuk says you should guard from everything bad, which is a prohibition about thinking about bad women. Rabotai, you have to imagine if your wife is not the size that you want her to be, or she's not the beauty that you expect her to be, and now you go to another woman, Rabotai. When you're sleeping with your wife, you think about another woman, halachically that's asur. It's big problems, Rabotai. כדאיסא בכתובות דף מ"ו א' והרבה פעמים גם על איסור שכבת זרע לבטלה, רבותיי. Rabotai, listen to this. How many times people do this? You think I look at a woman, a person looks at a woman, okay, what big deal? What did I do? What did I do? Rabotai, when you go to the bathroom, the zera can come out. Because you have an awakening. When you look at a woman, not the proper way, you have an awakening. There's a Rabotai halach that you're allowed to look at a woman when you're speaking to her, but derech hers can, like the face to face, and continue to do what you have to do. But, yeah, of course, yeah. When we're going, you're not allowed to check out the woman, Rabotai. You can't even look at her body parts. Look what he says. But to what? To be in a place that, forget about who makes dancing. To be in a place where women walk, where their flesh is open, where it's supposed to be covered. Today there's a new minhag. The skirts are above the knees, and you see the woman, they push it down. They constantly pull it down because they want to make it below the knees. Rabotai, make it very simple. According to Ashkenazim, it has to be a few inches below the knees when they sit down. It has to cover the knees. According to Chacham Ovadia, a woman, every single girl, should try to be machmir as much as possible. Machmir, stringent as much as possible. How much she can, she should try to cover her legs, Rabotai. These legs belong to the husband. The woman belongs to the husband, Rabotai. Not to any other man, Chas Shalom. This is why there's no Shalom Bayit. Shalom Bayit, everybody has Shalom Bayit. Rabotai, get to the point. And then he says like this, Yesh b'zeh isu histaklut av belo kavanah lehanot. Rabotai, you can't even look at a certain woman if she's undressed in a certain place, right? They put chains over here, halfway open, arms open, slits on the skirt. Rabotai, just to look like that, without getting enjoyment, it's asur, Rabotai. And then he concludes with this and he says, the b'kavanah, but imagine this, Rabotai. The b'kavanah lehanot asur av be'ez b'katana. Rabotai, if you ever looked at a woman's finger, ever in your life, you looked at her finger like this, you wanted to see her nail because you wanted to get enjoyment, even from her pinky, Rabotai, even if you have Torah like Moshe Rabbeinu, even if you have Ches like Moshe Rabbeinu, Mitzvah like Moshe Rabbeinu, you will not be cleansed from the judgments of Gehenom, Rabotai. Don't think, Hashem, why did you do this to me? Why did you do this to me? Why did this happen? Rabotai, you and I perfectly know where our shortcomings are. So Bezrat Hashem, let's try to work on it. Let's try to improve ourselves and go in the ways of Hashem. Baruch Adonai Olam. Amen. Amen.